Hey, what is going on, guys? Jay here from MJ Tech. Today coming here with another car stereo review, and today we will be using a Honda Civic 2006, and this will work for any Honda Civic from 2006 all the way up to 2011. So anyways, this one here has a 10.2 QLED 2.5D 720p display, and for a radio that's actually quite great. We get Android 10.0 out of the box, so yes, you can play things like Netflix, you can download applications and much more. It comes with 200 total output watts. It has 4 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes of internal storage. It comes with Bluetooth 5.0 and my favorite feature, which is wired and wireless CarPlay as well as Android Auto. It comes with a modem that gives you 4G capability, so you can get a service and install a SIM card into this radio and actually get 4G network. Due to the size of this unit for this particular vehicle, which is the Honda Civic 2006 all the way to 2011, they decided to ship the bezel separately. So this radio will get assembled here on the front side and it fits right on. I already tested it, and it gets bolted in here from the back side. We're going to be talking about this here in just a second. So let's go ahead and focus here on the unboxing and see what we get inside. It comes with a lot of foam, and they have included this card with a whole bunch of QR codes so that you can learn more about this company. Inside we get foam, more foam. You will find foam all over the place, and one of the things that we get is the dedicated harness, and this time they made sure that it's actually the harness that I need for the 2006 Honda Civic. So with that being said, inside here we have a whole bunch of wires and antennas as well. I have to admit, it is a little bit uncomfortable to get it out, but definitely possible. And here it is. So here we have that 10.2 inch unit. On the back it looks like a single DIN unit, but on the front you can see that it looks entirely different. Check out here the back side. This is where some of the antennas will get connected, as well as some of the harnesses, and the main harness will go back here. Now, something very awesome that Idoing mentioned that they will do in the near future is add already the plug so that you can connect your car's factory harness directly into the radio without having to use something like this. And now here to give you a quick demo, I will show you how this will look like once installed. On the back side of this unit we have the screw holes. You guys can see them right here. We have one on this corner, one on this corner, the bottom, and the other corner as well at the bottom. So all we have to do is just place it on the front side like so, and you will see how perfect it fits on there. Alrighty guys, so here we made it now to the Civic. This is the 2006. Keep in mind that, like I said before, this will work for any Civic from 2006 all the way to 2011. The car is in pretty good condition all the way around. It's quite clean on the inside. It has leather seats, so we know that, well, those are not in the greatest condition. But overall, it's a car that definitely deserves the radio. Doesn't have any mechanical issues yet. And yeah, like I said, it's a good working car. This one belongs to my sister-in-law. So let's go back here to the garage, and I'll be explaining what you guys will need. A Phillips screwdriver. This is an 8mm socket with the ratchet, and just have all your wires ready. And one of the first things I will do is install the screws that came inside of this harness bag. So anyways, these screws, they get installed here on the inner side. And to give you a better view, I went ahead and preset all of the screws here all around it. By the way, it only takes about 4 of them. So let's go ahead and get them both in. Now let's go ahead and take a closer look and check that out. Perfect. To get started with the unassembly on this Honda, first of all, there's a whole bunch of videos on YouTube in case you guys don't get anything clear here from my unassembly. Again, the process is super simple. You have to take out the speedometer bezel so that the radio can come off completely. And there's two 8mm bolts underneath this area here. They are Phillips, or you can use the 8mm socket to get them out. And you had to take those out in order for the radio to completely come off. Now here, to remove this bezel, you have to first remove this lower plastic that is covering all the wires and everything down here. And then after doing so, you have to take off this panel, which is also held by clips. Just pull it with your hands and it should come off like so. And now we had to remove this Phillips screw underneath it, and that's how we start removing the bezel using the pry opening tool, which is this here. Okay, you're gonna run this along the side here of the bezel, and you're gonna start hearing some popping sounds. Be gentle, especially if your car is this here, because these plastics they like to get toasted a little bit with the heat. So just be gentle, and that way you don't crack anything. Okay, so after removing that Phillips screw towards the bottom, you can just start pry opening the whole thing here. Lower your steering wheel so that it's easy for this bezel to be taken out, like so. And there we go. You just got this part out. There's a wire here that needs to be disconnected. Now you're gonna grab here the 8mm socket and remove those two bolts that I mentioned earlier. Right underneath here, you can see we have one bolt here. The other bolt is right there. So now with those two bolts out, we can start pulling on the radio itself. Just honk the horn. There we go. You just got the upper side out. It was super easy, which is good news. And now we simply take out all the connections. Okay, we just took the AC connection, and I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but we have just a couple of things that are easy to take out. Just make sure you take everything out of it. And the last part here is that we have the connection. This is the antenna, the FM AM antenna connection. This is the steering wheel control wire, and then you have your power and speaker harness right here, and that's it, guys. Check that out. It came right off. Very simple card to work with. I love this. Okay, so here we have both of the bezels. This is the old, this is the new, already with the screen installed. And so there's a couple of things we have to take out. That will be the AC vent. For that you have 3 Phillips screws here. 1, 2, and 3. Then we have the hazard lights button. It is held by 2 Phillips screws, very easy to do. And then we have the AC control unit, which it is held by 4 Phillips screws. We have 2 on the side, and we have 2 on the other side. The only thing that won't get transferred over is the airbag indicator light. This one lets you know if the airbag is activated or not. So that's the only one that won't be transferred over, because if you look, it doesn't have a section here for it to be installed. That's because we had that big old display. Keep in mind that in order to take the AC controls out, you had to take these 2 little knobs, and they come out a little easier with a flat screwdriver. You simply go right behind it and then pry the screwdriver, turn it to the side, and that will take them out. And this is the moment when you realize that the hard work is finally paying off. We got all the buttons here transferred over, along with the vent, the hazard light button, and the only one, as I said before, that is not transferable is going to be the airbag light. Now that we finished the assembly with the radio and the bezel, well, we are ready here to start wiring stuff around. If you guys look closely here, I went ahead and installed the microphone, and that's really easy, self-explanatory. You simply remove this gasket and then you run the wire. And what I did is that I went right below this panel here, and then I ran it along the side until it came out here. Okay, so this is for the microphone, and I also went ahead and installed a USB hub just to make it easier and cleaner for the connections, such as the wired CarPlay and wired Android Auto. So again, I have all this set up and ready to go. Our next step here is to hook up the GPS. Now there's a lot of things that we will not be using right now with this particular vehicle. First of all, we don't need the inputs here for things such as the subwoofer and other type of connections. I won't be using that. I won't be using right now the reverse camera harness either, and also the 4G modem. This car will not have a SIM card, so the 4G modem will not be installed either. So those are the only things that we will not use. Now we got here the two USB ports. It's actually 3 of them, but I believe that one of these will be the one in charge of the wired CarPlay and wired Android Auto. These two will get connected here. Then we had to figure out which one is which, and this part will get connected, of course, on the back side of the radio. I am not sure if I will be needing this one. I'll keep you guys updated as I go along here with the installation. And finally, we will be installing here the GPS antenna. You know, this is quite common, so for this I'll try to go on the upper side here of the dashboard and get it stuck somewhere in there, and then connect it on the radio itself. Alrighty guys, so I went ahead already and tested here which USB port gives me the wired CarPlay and wired Android Auto. As you can see, I have an Android device and I have an iPhone as well. So I came to the conclusion that in order to get it working, there's another USB port that comes as a single one, which is the one with the purple connection. That's the one that you have to use here, so that it gives you, again, the wired CarPlay and the wired Android Auto. And then for the other one, I only used one of them. Luckily for this radio, the harness was the correct one, because with my other 2005 Honda Civic, the harness came incorrect. Now we also have here what appears to be the steering wheel controls as well. We're going to be testing that later on. So far everything looks great. All we have to do is connect here the microphone, which is this one here. We have a harness for that as well, which is the one with the pink wire. If you look here, it says mic, and this one has a 4-pin connection. It goes in right here. Let's see. And I think I got it hooked up there properly. And so now what we do is simply connect the microphone as well here, and then we will also be testing this later on. There we go. It goes in quite hard. Just apply some pressure, and yes, we have the main harness, the steering wheel, the FM AM antenna connection. All we got to hook up here is the GPS antenna, and that's pretty much it, guys. Before we continue the full reassembly here of this radio, don't forget to add these clips. I forgot to mention this earlier. So you have to remove them from the old bezel and then get these reattached here to the new bezel so that it clips on properly. Voila. Right now we are testing here the unit. As you can tell, I got everything pre-assembled after installing those clips, and it came out to be beautiful. On the inner side, I had to take out a little bit of the plastic because the screen was just rubbing a little bit too much. So that's optional, you don't have to do it, but I went ahead and took out a little bit, and that made it so that it goes in very nice and smooth. Alrighty guys, so we got this thing fully installed. Everything came out as expected. There is a little minor color shift here between the bezel for the speedometer and the odometer and so on and so forth, and the actual bezel for the radio. That's because this is brand new and this is about maybe what, like 14-16 years old. So that's why you will see a little color shifting, but it is very minimum. From a distance you can't even notice it. So yes, we got everything working great on here. I also was able to program the steering wheel controls here. So right now if I hit the volume up, you can see that that works. Okay, and also we got here the mode. The mode is to go back home. And let's say I'm on the radio itself and I want to change here the station. All I have to do is click on the channel plus, and that'll take me to the second station. If I click it again, it'll take me to the third station, and then if I click the minus for the channel, it'll take me back to it. So again, you can program it however you want to. In this case, again, I just got those three done. So if I click here on the app drawer, then we can find here something called control with a little steering wheel. In order to program it, all you have to do is just hold and press the button, and then it'll turn yellow here. It says please select learning function. So this will be volume plus. Then the same thing for the volume down, you hold and press it, click volume down. Then here for the mode key, you hold and press it, you click on the home. And then for the channels, I got here the skipper. This is for forward, okay. And then we have the one to go back, and that'll be that one here. Also you can do things like the voice control, and also you have dedicated buttons here for the answering and declining phone calls as well. Then we have things like the operating system. As I said, this is Android 10.0, and to verify that, we're going to go here into settings. Let's go into about device, and from here you can see that we have in fact Android 10.0. so everything about this radio is actually correct, and it comes with 4 GB of RAM and 64 GB of internal memory already. You can even change the colors here of these buttons to match the vehicle's dashboard, which is really cool. I do know that we had the Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi works great. I am connected to my home's network and I'm getting decent signal, and right now we are about maybe 30-40 feet away from my home. So you can see right here that it is connected successfully. So after that, we have applications on here that come pre-installed, like the Chrome. Everything works great. Here we have YouTube. Let's say we type here ebay.com. You can see that it works really fast. And so again, with the connection for the internet, I don't have any issues whatsoever. And yes, we do have here things like the Bluetooth connection, and this is necessary if you want to use the wireless CarPlay or wireless Android Auto. You have to set this up. Now in my case, I decided to change the name of the Bluetooth. I named it 06 Civic, so that way it is easy to find on your device. And we are already connected here with the iPhone. Let me go ahead and turn on my Bluetooth settings. So right here you can see that we have connected previously to the 06 Civic. All I have to do is just click on it and we are connected again. Now when it comes to this, now is where we go to CarLink. CarLink here, when you open it, it'll actually, let me disconnect from Android Auto. So that's Android Auto. I just disconnected. And so now let's kill the application so that it makes it a little bit easier for it to know that we are doing now a Bluetooth connection. Let's go back into CarLink kit, or CarLink, I'm sorry. And so it says waiting on device. So let's turn off the Bluetooth here on the phone. Sometimes you have to turn it off and on so that it works properly. Let's click here now on 06 Civic. and hopefully that'll get it working. It says now connecting, verification approved, and you guys can see that again it is entirely wireless. So there we go, we have now here wireless CarPlay, and the same thing you would do for Android Auto. You simply connect to the Bluetooth and then it'll connect for you automatically, which is really cool, and everything's working great on here. I don't have any issues whatsoever. We have here YouTube Music, we have even settings. It says driving focus. You can change all those settings as well. Very cool, guys. Everything's working great, and this is my preferred method for maps as well, is to use either Android Auto or CarPlay and not use the built-in navigation, as they need to be updated constantly. Now with that being said, let's go ahead and turn off here the Bluetooth, and let's kill all the applications. And now we will try the same thing here, connected to Android. So let's go back here to CarLink, and now we're going to plug here the Android phone, and you guys will observe how it says now connecting, and in no time we can see right here now that we have Android Auto. Very cool. And I'm able to do just about the same thing I can do with CarPlay as well. So like I said, all you have to do is either connect to the Bluetooth and have it wirelessly, or you can have it plugged in here to your car. And that's honestly my preferred method, as it does work a lot smoother. When it comes here to the audio, right now we can't really do a fair testing of the audio just because the speakers are blown on this car, and by blown I mean they don't sound at all, and only one in the back is working. So if I click here on radio and I increase the volume, you guys can hear that no audio at all. Only the tweeters on the front are working. The ones on the very front there of the dashboard. That's the only thing that is working right now, and one speaker, like I said, on the back side. So hopefully after this video we're gonna jump right into Walmart and get that working. Then we have things here like the equalizer. I have it on rock. That's the best sound option that I can see here, unless you want to go to user and then you can change it manually. You can do that as well. But we have things like rock, soft, classic, pop, hall, jazz, and so on and so forth. But rock is the one that sounds better on my at least 05 Civic. I'm assuming it'll do the same thing here with the 06 Civic. Then here for the applications, we have pre-installed the maps. We have the Play Store. Nobody has signed in yet. I'll leave that to the owner, but it is very similar to when I had it on the 05 Civic. It is the same thing. You can simply download any application that you wish to. We have YouTube on here. That works great as well. So right now we don't have any internet connection, just because every time you use wireless CarPlay or wireless Android Auto, it disconnects automatically. So yes, YouTube does work as well. And that's pretty much it, guys. I think that with this being said, we have now successfully done the unboxing, the installation, and the review of the Idoing car radio for the 06 to 2011 Civics. If you guys have any questions, just leave your comments below. Don't forget to like this video, click on the bell icon, and I'll see you on my next one.